Evening all, welcome to some more tactics. Right, today we're going to show you a brick tank. Oh, I know, what a bastard I am. I care not. I don't do these videos for your favour, good sir. I do these videos for a bit of entertainment and a bit of a chill, to be honest. And brick tanking is kind of stupid and it's kind of annoying, but I think I like to think of it almost as a scientific experiment to firstly see why other people do it, but secondly to actually stomp puppies into the ground and then use excuses like, oh, it's a scientific experiment, to actually get away with it. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. And look at that. I mean, again, I can see why people brick tank, for God's sake, because it is ridiculously overpowered. And that is why there is a patch change coming, or already happened. I don't know. Whenever this is released, you can then decide if it's happened or not at that point. But this is why, because having scouts with almost 1,000 hit points is pretty stupid, and it makes them very survivable. So, you know, as you watch this entire match, you'll notice I die very, very rarely. Well, actually, I'll probably die a bit more in a bit because it gets a bit serious in a bit. But it's a great example of, I think, of the I guess the flexibility of the game that CCP have created here. And I think people should not forget this, because I was thinking about it earlier. When you look at games like Titanfall, when you look at things like Battlefield 4, they do have a degree of character customization, but again, nothing to the level that this game has. And I think that is a real testament to it. You know, I'm quite impressed at the fact that you can do so much with this game, in terms of you could have a scout that could be a speed tank fit, or you could fit that scout to do, you know, a million different things really. And I think that's actually a real testament to the game just generally, is that there is a real scale and scope of what you can do. And I'm quite impressed with it. I think people don't pay that compliment enough to CCP for having created that as a concept. So there's kind of, you know, if you look at the unique selling points of this game, it really is that player market piece. You know, having money rewards is a big deal. You know, if Battlefield 4 had money, I think that game would be a lot more successful than it has been, because there'd be more reason to play other than KD, which again only nerds care about. And secondly, I think that ability to have 1,000,001 different fits for the same suit, obviously not literally 1,000,001, but still a lot, I think has been an incredibly, I guess, impressive feat for them. So this is why I think, you know, Legion is well set with with what it's going to have, and I think that will make it quite a, I guess, a unique product. I would hope. I mean, to me, these have always been unique selling points. It failed in other areas, but I think, yeah, again, that's just life. You can't have everything, but I think, you know, the game that they produced was certainly good, in my opinion. Must be, if I do so many bloody videos about it. Anyway, I think, you know, at the moment, you know, there is still quite a bit of speculation as to where Legion's going. I think people are obviously, you know, hoping for more announcements and discussion around that. Me too. I mean, I think it's good to see the Legion forum popping up. It's great to see so much, you know, CCP involvement with it, but I would probably say that I think people are looking more now for maybe some videos. So obviously we saw the Compass video. If you didn't see it, check out CCP Muck Peanut. Great name, by the way. You must have spent minutes thinking that one up. Almost as good as CO Pyrex. I'm kidding. And there was a really good thing there about the compass they're building into the game. So that's nice. That's a, you know, great bit of feedback. You know, good stuff. I like that. You know, these are just snippets. This makes the game feel a lot more open. It makes the game feel a lot more, I guess, fun and accessible. So, you know, CCP, if you're listening, certainly do more of that. I think that's exactly what the player base want. I think just generally, you know, there is a bit of a kind of difficult time with this whole thing, because again, Legion still isn't green lit at this point, whatever that means. And I think that, you know, that's a shame. That does make it more risk filled. So obviously, you know, a lot of people are still a little bit kind of unsold on the idea until maybe it gets green lit. I don't think you're going to get the support maybe that you would love. However, I don't know, you know, we'll just keep monitoring it and see what happens. I think from looking at how far they've got already, I think it has to be pretty far down the track. It just maybe depends on if they're going to, you know, assemble it into the CCP world right now, if they wanted to, they could probably bundle it up and sell it on to some other games developer as an unbranded thing, and just put your own textures in and you're away. And maybe that's part of the process. I don't know, but I'm keen to understand the business of it a little bit more. I think for me, I'm hoping obviously that they get green lit and off they go. But there is always this risk that actually maybe they won't, and maybe what will happen is that CCP would just farm it out to another games company, maybe as another shooter. Who knows? It's so difficult to understand really what is going on here. But there was one thought that did pop in my brain, which was that PlanetSide 2 is SOE Online, which is Sony Online. And obviously, this is always a bit of a weird one for me, because Dust is actually on, it was a deal with PlayStation, Sony again. And I think Project Legion, in some level, may be being seen as a threat to PlanetSide 2, which again, who knows? Maybe it will be, maybe it won't. But in some theory, in some world, potentially it is. So maybe there's some sort of kind of legal shenanigans going on. Who knows? But to me, I think I'm curious to see the future of this game. I'm really, I know I keep saying this, I'm just going to say it one last time, is that, I am disappointed that Dust is going and it's not going to be on the console, but, if it was a choice between Dust closing and then that's it, or Dust closing and then Legion spawning from it, it's an easy choice. Come on, bros, it's an easy choice. I hope we don't have to wait too long for it. I don't know. It's very difficult to understand where they are in the process. Plus, when you look at it, there's so many good games coming now. Lots and lots of very good games coming out. Star Citizen dogfighting module is out on the 30th. Elite multiplayer beta is out also on the 30th of May. I mean, those are two games that are going to be huge in the space sci-fi arena. So I think, CCP, have to have some understanding that strategically, they're quite a seismic shock potentially to them. Because players who play Eve are going to want to play both those games, and I think most players who could play Eve will also have an interest in those games, because given the pedigree of both Wing Commander and Elite, for God's sake, they're two of the most recognizable space games ever, and Eve was based on Elite, so already that would make me quite worried. Having played Elite, and there's videos on my channel, go check them out. I've played the Elite Combat beta at the moment, or even Alpha, and bloody hell, it's good. I mean, I'm gushing now because it's that good. It is really good, because it's more than just, here's a ship, there's another ship, go fight. I'm trying to explain it. I had a Sidewinder, which is a small ship. I was fighting a Cobra Mark III, which is a big ship, and it's a big cruiser style ship. And I found that the tactics to fight the different ships was totally different, because you would put all of your power into the engines to get away from your enemy, and then you'd do a tight turn, and then you'd put all of your power into your weapons, and you'd do an attack run, and then you'd put all of your weapons into shield as you boost away. And I sat there and did this a few times, and I'm like, this is it's like War Thunder, the original, the realistic version of War Thunder. It was like, whoa, this is impressive. So, I think already, CCP should be quite worried about that, because it is looking pretty good already. I'm very, very impressed, as you can hear from my schoolgirl giddy voice, that I'm pretty excited. Anyway, I digress. So to be honest, CCP do have a challenge ahead of them, and I think to green light Legion would be a hell of a thing to say to the gaming press. It'd be a hell of a thing to kind of commit to, and I know that obviously financially there's a big risk there. I know reputationally there's a massive risk, because if they get it wrong a second time, am I saying that Dust was wrong? No, but if they don't make it a success more so than Dust, it's going to be sort of, I don't know, heralded as a little bit of a balls up. I don't like saying that, but that may be the truth slightly. And I think the reality is that if they don't get it right this second time, that this IP is done. You will not see it reincarnated ever again. It'll be buried like that E.T. game that did in the 80s. The E.T. game that Spielberg commissioned, and he had like millions of copies made, and that the game was so terrible he had them all bought and buried in the desert. Yeah, you heard about this? It was on the news, bro. Don't you watch the news? So I'm not lying. Actually, he did do that. It's pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, partly I'm I'm hoping that they get the green light's given, and I'm hoping that they move quickly with it. I'm hoping they've got a lot more of it done than maybe people realize as well, because I think to not have it right into a point where it could be within beta in say 6 months would be disastrous, because I think already people are kind of tailing off from Dust since that announcement came out. There is a negative connotation between from buyers, from customers, when if you know that a particular series of car is being removed eventually because they'll replace it with a new model, you're not really going to buy. And that's the issue. That is kind of the, I guess, the problem. So there needs to be eventually, not right now, I think it's okay at the moment, but within the next 4 weeks from whenever this video is shown, in the next week or so, I think there does need to be some kind of more qualifying statement that Legion is coming. Otherwise, you're just going to have this scenario where people will just be, I guess, confused and not certain of their future. So why invest time in a hobby stroke pastime that could be gone in a few, well, weeks, months, days, whatever. So you see the dilemma, I guess, that CCP are under, and I don't envy them at all. I think this is part of, I guess, the bullshit business of this industry that you kind of have to just accept, because you don't do this for the enjoyment of it, you do it to make money. And I think if you don't make money, then there's no game, there's no point. Nobody does anything in life for free, okay? And I think that has got to be the biggest point here, is that they've got to make money from these games, otherwise there's just no point doing them. And I think, again, just with such good competition coming, with such I saw the new, is it Call of Duty game, the one set in the future, that has got jet bikes in it. Already I'm excited. I really am. It's got jet bikes. I'm happy. I'm really, really happy. So, these are the things that I think just people are going to want to know, about very soon. So, CCP, they've got a challenge ahead of them. And I think this is probably why we're seeing a lot of activity on Legion now. And I think we're seeing a lot of drive. But again, it's all for naught. It's all for naught if they do not, say to the community, okay, guys, we're going. We've got permission. We're ready. We've got an investment path. We've got a roadmap. We've got everything we need to get this product to the market. And once they do that, people will back them. People will be like, yeah, okay, it's coming. At the moment, while it's in limbo, while it's in this weird limbo-like state, I think people are just a little bit, I don't know, cautious. And I think that's going to damage the community as a whole. We have seen numbers drop, but not excessively. I mean, I don't know if you watch eveoffline.net. All of the kind of proto-stompers, well, a significant number of the proto-stompers have left. That is pretty evident. Although having said that, a lot of them are still playing because they're kind of, hypocritical bastards who, wanted to create a bit of drama, then realised that A, nobody knew who they were, and then B, nobody cared who they were. They've decided to try and, obviously threaten CCP a little bit with, oh my God, I'm taking my court with me and I'm going home. And to be honest with you, they're still playing, and they're still playing quite a lot, and they're absolutely full of shit, and they're fucking hypocrites, and screw them, seriously, because any credibility that they may have once had is gone. And that's the beauty of this game. Sometimes, you do find that there are just some wonderful moments like that to enjoy. Oh, I'm such a bastard, aren't I? I don't mean to be. It's just I think sometimes these people who cry and throw their toys out the pram and say, I'm going home, screw you guys, and then all of a sudden they're playing again. And you just send them a little message at the end of the game saying, hi dude, I thought you were leaving, and then just watch them squirm. Oh, it's fun. So there we go, look at that. I've got an orbital on my own. Not bad, eh? So, tanking scout suits, kind of annoying, kind of sad, and I still lost 7 of them, so I still suck. And there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you next time.